Have you ever dreamt about getting gold and silver at spot price? That price you see quoted on the futures exchanges for gold and silver contracts? Is it even possible to buy one of those contracts and get delivery on the metal? My name is Rafi Farber. I am the publisher of the gold and silver newsletter called The ENDGAME Investor, and I'm here to tell you, yes, it is possible. I have gone through the process and stood for delivery on a 5,000-ounce silver contract. I am the first client of Interactive Brokers, a futures commission merchant, to actually do this, and I am here to show you how it can be done. But first, here's the why. We all know we are at the tail end of the current fiat monetary system. While we do not know exactly how much longer it will last, it is very clear we are in the parabolic stages of societal collapse. We can see it in social behavior, in the explosion of authoritarianism, and in the quickly eroding value of our paper currencies. It is all connected, and the collapse of all empires ends in this way, over and over again. Societal decay, totalitarianism, and the death of national currencies. At the core of all financial and social repression today is our current inflationary monetary system. And at the core of that are enormous vaults of gold and silver in New York, used to back contracts traded on the Comex. As the famous Austrian school economist Ludwig von Mises taught, the only reason the dollar or any paper currency has any value at all is that it can still be exchanged for real money, which is gold and silver. The minute that the dollar can no longer be exchanged for any amount of real money, the dollar is dead, and financial repression ends because the enforcers of it can no longer be paid in their currency. As long as gold and silver futures contracts continue to be backed by physical stocks of metal, the exchange rate between the dollar and real money can continue to be suppressed, maintaining the dollar's purchasing power. But if the public can come together and stand for delivery, the true exchange rate between the dollar and real money can be revealed once and for all. There are currently 175,000 contracts worth of gold registered at the Comex and about 19,000 worth of silver. The amount of paper traded over that is about 3.5 times for gold and close to 10 times that for silver. And so, a concerted effort to drain the Comex of its physical gold and silver supplies is possible. It will just take a concerted effort from the public. And with that, here is my story. It all began on June 22nd, 2021, when Chris Marcus of Arcadia Economics sent me an email. In that email was an ad for Interactive Brokers. I opened it, and here's what it said. Also available, physical delivery of Comex gold, micro gold, silver, and micro silver. Interactive Brokers clients trading Comex precious metals futures can now take physical delivery of Comex gold, micro gold, silver, and micro silver futures. Physical delivery is in the form of a registered warrant for each futures contract. And so I opened an account with the plan of taking delivery of a single 5,000-ounce silver contract. Chris put together the whole team, the funding, and even the support from the gold and silver retail industry through Andy Shechtman, CEO of Miles Franklin. The plan was, once I took delivery of the warrant, I was going to send the bars to Miles Franklin, and from there they could be minted into coins. I knew it was not going to be easy, but I had the best support I could possibly get. After opening and funding my account, the first thing I did in mid-July was buy one contract in August silver futures. That was the easy part and posed no challenges. Several days later, after all cash had settled and I had enough funds to cover delivery of 5,000 ounces at my buy price, I signed in to file an intent to receive on the contract. Immediately, I began to have issues.
Submit. Intent to receive 1 SI August 2021. Your order is not accepted. There is insufficient cash in your account to obtain the desired position.
The system said I was short $11,243.72, even though I had more than enough cash deposited to cover the entire value of the contract. That means 5,000 times my purchase price of $25.18 per ounce, or a total of $125,900. I immediately opened a chat with support to find out what the problem was. This is what customer support wrote back. What is that number, $11,243.72? Where does that come from, I ask. That is the calculation of the total. You have around 131,000. Yes, I know that, I respond. System is saying additional $11,243.72 is needed since weight tolerance is also considered. And what is weight tolerance, you ask? Simple. Despite all the technology at the disposal of silver bar manufacturers, apparently they haven't figured out how to be precise when casting a 1,000-ounce bar. And so these bars are more or less eyeballed, meaning any given bar could be up to 10% more than 1,000 ounces. And so the amount of cash in your account must be minimum 10% more than the 5,000-ounce multiplier. It must be enough to cover 5,500 ounces, should each bar actually weigh 1,100 ounces. And so, to make sure I covered the required $11,243.72 and then some, I deposited another $13,000. Then I tried again.
Clicking on delivery.
One more page, okay? Actually, it's in this one.
Right. One. Let's see. Trade. Orders and trade. Ooh, there's one.
Now,
Pre-submitted. See how long it takes to cancel this one.
Initially, the intent to receive went through. But then, a few days later, I logged back in and found that the order was canceled.
My latest intent to receive was again canceled. I mouse over this. It says canceled by system. Your order is not accepted. There is insufficient cash. $1,063.30 in your account to obtain the desired position. They keep changing the number. And they keep putting in more cash, and they keep saying there's not enough cash. I submitted another intent to receive, which was filed, pre-submitted 9:38. It's now 9:40, and that'll probably be canceled too. So it's looking like this is a sham.
I kept trying repeatedly and kept getting cancellations, each with different amounts for the cash I was supposedly missing. I then called up support again and asked what the problem was, what these numbers meant, and I also discovered something fun. Take a listen.
Why is the system telling me that I am $267 short now if I wasn't $267 short a few hours ago? It's not like the price that I bought it at changed. And even when it doesn't say that I'm short, I mean, last week it said I was $11,000 short or whatever. So I put $13,000 more in just to have a buffer. And now it's saying I'm $267 short. Nothing makes sense here. I just did it again. It says rejected by system, insufficient cash, $219.53. What are these cash numbers based on? I mean, I just put in another $300 just to cover that.
It looks like there's a statutory initial margin requirement for like the actual like futures contract.
Can you tell me, has Interactive Brokers ever allowed any of its clients in history to stand for delivery on a futures contract?
For physically settled?
Yes.
This is the first time, so it's pretty much brand new.
Wow. So if I do this successfully, I'll be the first person in the world. That's quite an honor. And if you succeed in this, you'll be the first customer service representative in the world to succeed at helping a client stand for delivery on a contract.
That's true.
So
That's true.
if this works, give me your number. We'll have a glass of champagne over Zoom or something.
This time, apparently, it was a statutory margin requirement for the contract itself that was the problem. Meaning, not only do you have to account for weight tolerance, but above that, you need enough cash separate from the 110% of the entire value of the contract in order to maintain the futures contract position. Apparently, an intent to receive reserves cash for delivery, pulling it from margin maintenance requirements for holding the contract itself. Conclusion being, if you want to take delivery of a warrant, you need to hold about 115% of the total value of the contract in your account. The exact amount I can't even tell you, because they couldn't tell me either. But even then, even after I deposited still more cash to cover statutory margin requirements and successfully filed another intent to receive, I was still getting forced liquidation warnings for being in violation of risk policies. Liquidation warning. Dear client, please note that your account is at risk of having positions liquidated due to a projected violation of one or more of our credit or risk policies as outlined below. Urgent. One or more futures or futures options in your account have an underlying for which we cannot accept delivery. Confused as to why I was getting this warning, I called support again on August 31st.
Got a message from you guys saying that I'm in violation of something or other. I have been trying to stand for delivery on a silver contract. I would like the warrant, and I want to know why I haven't received it yet.
Give me a minute. This marks the first time I have ever encountered someone with an intent to receive.
Yes, I'm aware of that, and I'm proud to be the first one.
Definitely not my first day here either, so this is exceedingly rare. Give me just a moment to see what's going on. My guess is our notification system is somehow blind to your intent to receive.
Yeah, I figured that. Look, I'm just glad to be the first one, and hopefully this is a new experience for both of us, and I'm excited.
Despite being told this was a technical glitch, 2 days later on September 2nd, within the September silver delivery window, I received this email. Attempts to reach you by phone regarding your intent to receive silver were unsuccessful. Please contact IBKR Trade Desk to confirm your intent, as it appears your initial intent has been removed from the account. Please verify your intentions or the account may be allowed to liquidate. It seems this was more than just a notification glitch. My intent to receive the silver warrant had been removed from my order book without my permission. And since this email was sent Friday night, my time, the Sabbath for me, I was unable to respond in time, and my silver position was liquidated by force. This is to inform you that Interactive Brokers liquidated certain positions in your account because these positions were not closed or rolled forward by you prior to the closeout deadline. IBKR requires accounts to close out all physically delivered futures prior to the start of the closeout period. At this point, I was pretty incensed. And so, on September 5th, I contacted support again.
I got an email that I was forced out of the position because the intent to receive was no longer in my order book, but I did not withdraw that intent to receive. It was taken out by something. I don't know. I didn't do it. I just today, a few minutes ago, resubmitted an intent to receive on September spot silver, and I opened the position back up. Now I am declaring my intent to receive the warrant on this contract right now on tape. Is it going to stay open, and can I get this warrant? Is it even possible?
What do you see that makes you think that it was liquidated?
I got an email.
Contract, right?
Yeah, it's a contract. I got an email from IBRK, an automated email. I can read it to you that says I was forced out and it's been liquidated. I even see the order on my order book, LQD1, filled on September 3rd, 2021 at 11:09 p.m.
Your intent to receive was canceled for some reason that frankly doesn't make a lot of sense to me on the early hours of the 2nd of September, and I gotta figure out why and what we can do at this point.
Okay.
At this point, I embarked on what could only be described as a game of ping pong with Interactive Brokers. I resubmitted the intent to receive, they canceled it. I refiled, they canceled it 5 or 6 times over the course of the month. Finally, tired of my shenanigans, I got a phone call from Interactive on September 28th, the final day of trading for September silver. The man on the line told me that if I submit the intent to receive one more time, the silver warrant will be delivered to me the next day. I immediately logged into my account, resubmitted the order, and the next day I noticed this in my account. 5,101 ounces of silver. And so, I now own the rights to 5 specific silver bars totaling 5,101 troy ounces. But the process is not over. I am now in discussions with Interactive Brokers and the Comex on loading out the bars. Physical delivery means only delivery of a warrant into your account for specific bars. Loading out means shipping those bars out of the Comex vaults themselves. So far, Comex refuses to talk to me because they only deal with brokers called Futures Commission Merchants, or FCMs, and not with individual owners. Why not? Because warrants for physically settled contracts are registered in the name of the FCM and not in the name of the individual. Right now, I'm trying to get Interactive to liquidate my silver warrant so I can deal with the Comex directly and load the bars out. The conclusion is, if you want to take physical gold or silver out of the Comex vaults, you need to team up with an FCM brokerage that has an explicit policy of enabling loadout, not physical delivery. For example, Paragon Global Markets or RJ O'Brien. But theoretically, even without loadout, there are only 19,000 contracts worth of warranted silver stored at the Comex. If we can get 19,000 people to stand for delivery just on the silver warrants themselves and hold those warrants all together all at the same time, we can still effectively drain the Comex without even moving the bars. Stand for delivery all at the same time, and the effect would be a sudden squeeze on the silver market, right at the source of monetary injustice. There are 97,000 bars of silver at the Comex. I own 5 of them. That's 96,995 to go. Godspeed, Silverbacks, and let's get those warrants. Hey guys, Rafi here from the Endgame Investor. First of all, I hope you enjoyed the video. Special thanks to Rob Keents of Gold Silver Pros. Gold Silver Pros is his YouTube channel. Please visit it, link in the description below. And thanks to Chris Marcus and all the recruitment that he made to make this possible. If you want to support me, you can click on the link below to the Endgame Investor to get a 2-week free trial to see how I write and cover the markets and how I trade. I also wanted to clarify it is not necessary for everyone to stand for delivery on warrants all at the same time, as long as cumulatively we own those warrants. And obviously, if you can accomplish loadout with either Paragon Global Markets or RJ O'Brien or another one of the brokers that has an explicit loadout policy following physical delivery, obviously that is better. Please share and like this video, and let's get all the silverbacks we can to get these warrants and load out and clear it all up. And finally, I have one message for the silverbacks and for the Comex.
I only got one thing to say to you. Strike this motherfucker out.